Welcome to this explainer. Commuting is just part of the daily grind for so many of us, right? But today, we're going to break down a very real, very intense first-hand account of street safety. We'll be looking at a real-life scenario of a commuter who realized she was being followed, dissect exactly what she did to survive the situation, and pull out the practical tactics you need to keep yourself safe out there. Let's dive right into the Commuter's Instinct Playbook.
Part 1. The Commuter's Instinct. Let's plunge straight into the narrative here. Imagine it's a Tuesday evening, right around 8 p.m. The sun is just set. Our commuter is walking home from the transit station, and she's just 2 blocks from her familiar apartment. It's a completely normal route. But tonight, something shifts. As she's walking, she notices a man, maybe 30 feet behind her, wearing dark clothes, and you can just feel that visceral tension building, right? Her immediate thought was literally, my gut told me something was very, very wrong. This isn't paranoia. This is your body's internal alarm system going off loud and clear.
And what makes this escalation so alarming are the sensory details of the threat. This didn't stay a vague, fuzzy feeling for long. When she crossed the street, he crossed the street. When she stopped walking, he stopped and actually pretended to look at his phone. He wasn't even trying to hide it. He was matching her every single move.
Moving on to Part 2, Anatomy of an Escape. So, instead of leading this follower back to the isolation of her apartment, which is a really common instinct but a massive mistake, she made a critical tactical decision.
Let's look at her first major tactical move. You'll see a stark contrast here between running and walking with purpose. You might be wondering, why didn't she just sprint away? Well, running actually signals fear, and it can trigger a predatory chase response. So instead of bolting, she walked quickly with absolute purpose. She used her body language to signal control, basically saying, I know exactly where I'm going, and I am not panicking.
So let's break down the exact sequence of her escape. First up, she changed her route completely. She abandoned the walk home and turned directly back toward the transit station, leaning on the safety of lights and crowds. Second, as we just talked about, she walked with purpose while keeping him in her awareness. And third, the second she got back to the station, she didn't just try to blend in. She went straight to security.
And notice the exact words she used when she got there. There's a man who's been following me. He's about 5'10", wearing dark clothes. She didn't minimize it. She didn't say, sorry to bother you, but no. She provided specific, immediate details to an authority figure, and that triggered an instant police response.
All right, Part 3, Inside the Predator's Mind. Here's the crazy thing. The man vanished the exact moment she entered the station. Let's shift our focus to the psychology of the aggressor to understand exactly why he backed off so quickly.
People who follow others on the street are usually engaging in a specific psychological behavior called testing. Interestingly, predators rarely just pick targets at random. They are actively assessing if you're an easy mark. They're searching for someone who is distracted, maybe too polite to say anything, or too intimidated to make a scene. Essentially, they're hunting for isolation.
So how do you defeat that test? You break their control by escalating the situation. The moment our commuter showed she was aware of him, changed her route, and stepped into a public space, she totally stripped that predator of his power. She escalated the scenario right out of his control. He couldn't follow her into a brightly lit transit station without being seen by security, so he was forced to back down and flee. Section 4. 5 Essential Safety Tactics. Let's consolidate all the lessons from this case study into a structured, highly actionable survival playbook for anyone who commutes alone. Okay, here are the 5 definitive rules derived directly from her escape. Number 1, trust your gut. 2, change your environment immediately. Go where there are lights and crowds. 3, move with purpose. Remember, confident body language. 4, report suspicious behavior immediately and do not minimize it. And 5, stay put in a safe space until you are absolutely sure the threat is gone. But I want to isolate the absolute most crucial rule on this list, and that's number 1, trusting your gut. In the story we just went through, the man hadn't done anything overtly violent yet, right? He was just trailing behind her. But her feeling wasn't paranoia. Your gut instinct is literally your brain subconsciously detecting micro signals of danger way faster than your conscious mind can even process them. Almost every person who's assaulted on the street felt that warning feeling beforehand. You absolutely do not need to wait for physical contact to take action. Finally, Part 5, Power, Safety, and Support. I want to pivot here to a strong concluding message of empowerment, because we need to strip away any stigma associated with being targeted. Let this fact really sink in. It is not your fault.
If you are ever followed or threatened, you did nothing to provoke it. An aggressor's choice to test you or threaten you is entirely on them. It is never the fault of the person who is simply trying to walk home.
Your job is never to manage a predator's behavior or try to politely deal with them. Your only job is exactly this: get to safety, report it, and get help. You have to prioritize your own survival over the fear of being rude. Resources like police and crisis support services exist specifically for these moments. Use them.
Which brings us to our final thought today. Your gut is hands down your most powerful defense. So what does this all mean? Are you ready to trust it? You are completely capable and you deserve to be safe. I highly encourage you to share these tactics with anyone you care about who commutes alone. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and please stay safe out there.